Stay spoken, stay spoken, stay. Stay spoken, stay spoken, shred.
Last night I gave myself a hug. I got my arms and I wrapped them around me tight enough. It felt a bit weird at first, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm trying out this thing called self-love. See, I wanna love everything about me. Exclusively, unapologetically, because somehow I was made to believe I wasn't made beautifully because I don't look like what they portray beauty to be, but beauty's in the eye of the beholder. And he calls me beautiful only to get his leg over, but that's all I want to hear, so I fall for his words like a shot soldier and just lie there, bare. But the war isn't over. Constantly fighting the words, she's ugly, she's even that nice, her friend's hot, and yeah, she's all right. And then he calls me beautiful and I'm weak. So easily knocked off my feet, I soak up the sweet words he speaks to me, a couple kisses on my neck and I give him me. And then he changed. We used to speak every day and now he hasn't replied to me for about a week. My whole self-worth becomes deprived as it only seems to thrive off the validation of others. And a storm is brewing in my mind going over the lies I even bought off this brother. Like, damn, I'm going to delete my Instagram page because the pictures of me make me feel sick. And I don't look like the girls on the Explore page, so I might as well cut it. My whole mood is affected because I feel rejected, completely unexpected as I got lost in the sauce and neglected myself again. Of course, like, girl, what is it that you're looking for? What is it that you want? What is it that you're yearning for? The emptiness inside you is empty because you haven't entered it before. There's a whole library of books on you that you haven't read before, and there's voices inside you you're choosing to ignore, screaming, girl, you're beautiful. You're made just the way you're supposed to be. The universe makes no mistakes, so listen to me carefully. Let's have this conversation. When you walk around not knowing yourself and not owning yourself, you give off this certain type of vibration, one that is preyed on by people that feed off the insecure. You need to know yourself inside out. You need to love yourself more. You need to build a strong constitution because you can't just fall, and then you need to accept that this is you. Do you think the sun is envious of the moon? No, because comparison is the killer of all joy. And girl, please don't tell me that you're crying over this boy. What? Because he couldn't see you for your undeniable beauty? Girl, that's his problem. Now let's keep it moving. I want you to try something. I want you to call off the search and be on your own for a moment. Be single and own it. Stop preying on the images of the girls of the gram and stop thinking to yourself, oh my God, how fat I am, and just do you. Because what you manifest inside is what radiates out of you, and then your spirit becomes lifted, and it should be because you're gifted with the ability to bring life into this world. Or did you forget that one, girl? Built in a way to carry a child for about 274 days and you don't think you're strong enough to carry yourself with your head held high? Girl, bye. I want you to try something. I want you to close your eyes and get your arms and wrap them around you tight. It might feel a bit weird at first, but it's called giving yourself a hug. It's called self-love. This is the realest shit I ever wrote. I started writing poetry when my heart broke. And no, I didn't break because of a breakup. It broke more on the idea that I didn't think that I was good enough. The sun didn't rise, my eyes never dried, and fucking hell, I haven't cried so much in my life, never felt a pain like it. Depression knocking on my door, I swear to you I'm trying to fight it, but my glass is screaming for more. But I've been drinking from the bottle, lost the cap, so now I've got to finish it all. Dancing in clubs on Tuesday nights, no sleep, no fucks. I'm strolling to work like I'ma do the same shit again tonight. I'm hanging, but I'm texting my girl like, what you saying for tonight? And she's off work because of a car crash, because that same night that we went out, because I found out that my fella was fucking trash and he was cheating. And I know that everything happens for a reason, but really the same night that my 5-year relationship comes to an end, I could have lost my best friend. But luckily she was cool and she was written off work. So once she recovered, I was constantly out drinking with her. And then she told me some devastating news. So I'm round hers with a bottle of wine and we're trying to reminisce on good times all whilst fearing the worst. But it was kind of comforting to be around other people that were hurt. And now we're turned and we're looking for a motive and we're going to find one, because all I know is I can't bear the thought of being left with my thoughts. I needed loud music to drown it out. I needed flashing lights to block it out, and I needed alcohol to knock me out. And fucking hell, drugs really do make you feel numb, because I'm in the club dancing and talking to everyone like my whole life isn't going wrong, like I'm not facing an eviction. Like my whole past relationship wasn't based on non-fiction. Like my existence isn't on the brink of extinction, and like this alcohol isn't becoming an addiction. And it reached a point where I didn't want to wake up. I'd close my eyes at night thinking I've had enough. Like I hate life. Why me? It's so unfair. And I genuinely feel like nobody actually cared. And the relationship between my mother and I was falling to shit. We were both going through the same thing, but we had different ways of dealing with it. And next minute I know she's being prescribed some bullshit, probably something I could have helped with or prevented if I wasn't being selfish and running away from the problem. And that was the problem. I was running away from it. Spent all my savings on raving, fucking drinking in the shower to E&J bottles in the park until I felt like my dad's trying to speak to me. I was probably so close to death that he became closer to me. You see, he passed away when I was 5 and he used to read a lot when he was alive, because suddenly I felt the urge to pick up a book. And it wasn't the Bible, but it was on spiritual enlightenment, and I was hooked. And the first line said, I can't live with myself. And this line best described my state of mind. Then it broke down the flaw in the line was the differentiation between the I and the self. I can't live with myself. Why was there two people trying to coexist? Then it explained that suffering came from the urge to resist, and that pain and suffering weren't the same. It was my negative thought pattern allowing it to persist. You see, I didn't want to accept what was happening, but what was happening, and what had happened, and I was still very much in control of my happiness, but my negative thought pattern wasn't allowing this. And then it reminded me how to breathe and be still. And with every breath, it was a reminder that I was meant to be here still. And then my purpose became clear, and creativity flooded me and gave me my own form of therapy. And my own struggle strengthened my empathy for those going through the same shit as me. So now I feel it's a responsibility to change the things I would have wanted changed for me. So you see, when I look back at those times, it's more like a blessing in disguise. It's more like a lesson in my eyes, and probably the most important time of my life, because I started to write.